Hello?
Welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, my name is Anna and I mostly use this channel to share my passion for the classical world. So if that's of interest to you, then definitely click on the red subscribe button below my video. As you probably know, I've mostly made videos where I talk about ancient Greece and ancient Greek as a language. I'm guilty of forgetting about the Romance and Latin, so that's where I'm going today. I've already made a video where I talk about 10 ancient Greek words we use today without realizing their origin. So it's time to talk about some Latin words we still use in day-to-day communication. The idea is to show that even though Latin is considered a dead language, it is still very important, alive and present. Clearly, Latin is central to some professions and disciplines such as law, science, and education. And for the rest of us, Latin remains fascinating and important to understand modern languages. So without further ado, let's talk about some Latin words which are still widely used, including some very common abbreviations and some more specialized yet fascinating terminology. Hey friends, what's the time? It's 10 a.m. AM is an abbreviation for ante meridiem, which means before midday. Similarly, PM is the abbreviation for post meridiem, which means after midday. If you're applying for a job, you're gonna need to send your CV, which is an abbreviation for the Latin words curriculum vitae, which means course of life. It does make sense, doesn't it? Because a curriculum, a CV, is the written overview of your life's work. In English, an alibi is the reason why you couldn't be in a place where an act was committed. And this word comes from the exact same word in Latin, alibi, which means elsewhere or in another place. The English word agenda is the plural of the Latin words agendum, which means something to be done. So the English word has retained its original Latin meaning because essentially in your agenda you're going to have things you want to get done. For example, you might have a lunch, a meeting, or a doctor's appointment. And if you run for office, you want to have a political agenda, which means things you want to get done in case you get elected. The word ego is a popular term, especially in psychology, and it comes from the Latin word ego, which is the first person pronoun I. This makes sense because ego refers to someone's self-esteem or self-worth. RIP stands for the Latin requiescat in pace, which means may he or she rest in peace. A PS is an afterthought, something you want to add at the end of your letter or mail, and it comes from the Latin words post scriptum, which literally mean after what has already been written, so after the text, basically. Ambiguous, an English adjective we use to describe something of uncertain nature, comes from a very similar Latin word, ambiguous, an adjective the Romans used to describe something doubtful or with a double meaning. Extra is a word we borrowed from Latin again. Extra in Latin is a preposition or adverb which means outside of or beyond, which totally makes sense if we think about the meaning of extra in English. Hey guys, there is a 50% discount! Percent comes from the Latin per centum, which means by the 100. Etc., which we often abbreviate as ETC and add at the end of lists, comes from the Latin expression et cetera, which literally means and the rest. You have a very mundane lifestyle. Mundane, which means ordinary or common, comes from the Latin adjective mundanus, which means belonging to the word. Remember, mundus means word. So the original meaning of mundane refers to things that happen on earth and that are uninteresting, as opposed to things that happen on heaven. Have you ever seen in a written text the abbreviations IE or EG? They both come from Latin. IE means id est, and it means that is, and EG comes from exempli gratia, which stands for example. The English adjective futile is used to describe something that is incapable of producing good results, and it comes directly from the Latin adjective futilis, which means vain or worthless. Ad hoc. Something ad hoc in English is something done for one specific purpose, and the expression is borrowed from Latin, where it means for this. So guys, let's be honest, although Latin has failed to survive as a living language, it has nevertheless survived, and it has probably become the most significant dead language. You want to know why? I think it's because it was so embedded in law, governance, science, and education that the word couldn't develop without Latin. So Latin words and expressions have entered, and often unchanged and directly, the English language and many other languages too. And Latin continues to determine the way words are created. So we must admit that for a dead language, Latin has an extraordinary resilience. And if you want to understand your own language better, then studying Latin is the way to go. I hope you liked this video, and I hope you let me know what you think of it in the comments below, and please do subscribe to the channel for more. I'm also on Instagram for more insights into my work. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. P.S. You are a great audience.